In a quiet week or so, a couple of Nokia-related snippets. The shipping date for Nokia's fourth Symbian 3 device, the QWERTY-driven Nokia E7, has been pushed back by around a month in order to, quote, ensure the best possible user experience. So that's now late January, sadly. The good news is it's probably being timed to pick up Nokia's next-gen web browser and other updated modules. We'll see. And I couldn't resist a pointer to a stunning Nokia N8 camera project, in this case Pix, the South African photojournal, documenting in detail how they got on using the Nokia N8 to shoot the cover of their publication, replacing a dedicated DSLR. They did seem genuinely amazed that a, quote, cell phone could produce images of publication quality. And you know, I shoot this show on the N8 too. You may have seen TV ads for this phone. The Motorola DEFY claimed to be life-proof. An excellent two-word summary of this diminutive little Android smartphone. Talking of life-proof, apologies for my sore throat, I'm not well. Whether it's out on your kids' sports field or park, or feeding the ducks at a party, as in the ad, or simply out in the rain, there's a constant worry with most expensive smartphones. I mustn't drop it, or get it wet, or dent it. Worry no more, because the DEFY is rather impressively from Motorola designed to eliminate all of the above worries. It's waterproof to 1 meter for 10 minutes, dustproof and shockproof. In fact, well, yes, life-proof. What's so amazing is that the DEFY doesn't look like a ruggedized phone, apart from the two rubber protruding port covers here and the 7 case screws around the outside, which you have to look really hard to see, at least on this, the all-black version. It looks like any other modern 2010 stylish Android smartphone. In fact, it looks more efficiently designed than many I've seen. Despite measuring only 10 centimeters long, the DEFY has a full 3.7-inch screen, the same TFT display used in the Milestones and Droids, which were much bigger devices. It's not as brilliant as the AMOLEDs from Samsung and Nokia, and it's hard to read in direct sun, but hey, on a device of this size and price, it's pretty decent. The challenge for Motorola was how to make a phone which does so much completely waterproof. The back cover, which covers the battery, and the micro SD bay compresses onto a special seal with the lever here, and the 3.5mm and micro USB ports are covered by rubber tethered covers. The volume keys and power button just press through rubber onto their switches, and the main loudspeaker and earpiece are waterproof, so that when you do this, oh dear, that's in the puddle. That shouldn't have happened. You just shake the water out and you're back to normal. How about that? Let's do that again. Oh dear. Just love this phone. Just love this phone. Actually, the whole design is a slice of genius from Motorola, and my first thought is, why on earth have phones been made so fragile for so long when it's this easy to make them life-proof? In fairness, some phones, the new Nokias and most others from Motorola, including the DEFY, they all have Gorilla Glass, which is scratch-proof and shatterproof. But this unit shows it's not rocket science to keep out a little rain or a short dunking in a puddle. More like this, please, phone companies. It's tempting to say that this is all you need to know about the DEFY because it's pretty unremarkable as an Android smartphone. 800 MHz processor, 512 meg of RAM, keep it chugging along nicely in my experience. There's just over 1 GB of flash memory here on the internal disk, enough for all your apps, and you can put in a 16 GB card internally for all your media. Motorola have stuck on their Moto Blur layer on top of the usual Android home screen, essentially resizable widgets, perhaps aimed at newcomers to smartphones, but it's no big deal because you can zap them in the usual Android way and put on any widgets that you fancy. We're talking Android 2.1 here, about 6 months behind the cutting edge of this OS, and Android 2.2 will be as delayed, scheduled for Q2 2011, just as the with Google Android phones all get Android 3.0. No doubt, but 2.1 will do most people. It's just geeks like me that must have the latest and greatest. Motorola have also added a Wi-Fi tethering utility plus DLNA media share, if you've got the home equipment to match. But there are signs that corners have been cut. Trying to, for example, upload a captured photo shows just Picasa, though you can get to Facebook through Quick Upload, and to MySpace, Bebo and PhotoBucket by delving further into the settings. It's all rather unintuitive. I dare say you power users out there will want to use your own uploaded apps anyway, obtained through the Android market, but hey. Media playback is okay. Android 2.1 can play back most MP4 variants, though the screen can't really match up to AMOLED on the likes of the Nokia N8 or HTC Desire. Plus, the good speaker means that audio is always loud enough. Music sounds great too, and there's a custom connected music player here based on TuneWiki, which means that lyrics come along for the ride too, if you let the apps go online to grab them. The camera's a pretty average 5 megapixel affair and struggles horribly in low light, making it a bit of a mockery of the use case that you saw in the ad at the beginning. While video is limited to VGA resolution with the current firmware. Here's a sample.
So this is test video capture on the Motorola DEFY from a very frozen and wintry UK. VGA resolution, nothing fancy, no focusing, no frills.
But then you're not going to buy the Motorola DEFY for its camera, I suspect. It's a shame though, coupling the ruggedness and the large 1500 mAh battery with a super camera and possibly Xenon flash would have made for an awesome all-terrain, all-purpose camera phone. Oh well. One oddity about the hardware, the battery rattles in its sealed compartment. Have a listen to this. It's easily solved with a piece of paper folded up, but it's disappointing considering the general build quality. For the money, around £250, SIM-free in the UK, the Motorola DEFY is something of a steal, and a smartphone that will probably outlive you. It would take some destroying. The DEFY isn't anywhere near the smartphone cutting edge, but it's a real survivor device for the zombie apocalypse, perhaps. Or perhaps just for down the pub. The Motorola DEFY.
Hiplogic, based in California. We're a new company that's providing interesting mobile interfaces for phones and for tablets. And we're operating on Symbian and Android.
What's your role at Hiplogic?
I'm the CEO.
Okay, not chief action figure anymore?
I'm still chief action figure as well.
As well,
That's
okay.
Right. We're doing some press briefings, getting ready for our launch of a new product that's called Spark. And we use the asterisk ahead of it, actually ensures that we get good placement inside some of the app stores. So, but then we've also incorporated that into the icon, which is kind of a bursting spark, if you will. So Spark is a new user interface. It's about discovery of content and immediacy and engagement on the mobile phone. And so, we've kind of gone a little app crazy. Okay. And most folks have 30, 35 applications on their devices. Yeah. And so with that much content on your phone, it's sometimes difficult to actually discover it. So we've created a new interface that essentially brings all of the essentials that you're interested in up to the top screen. And in the case of Android, it actually can replace the home screen on the device. Yeah, the answer is really simplicity. We've discovered there are two kinds of users. There's the user that wants to get into the deep heart of the phone and try and figure out everything that they can do on that phone. And then you've got the other user which turns the phone on when they first purchase it, and then they start using it to make phone calls and texts and really never bother to configure it for content. And so it's the latter really that we're seeing are really appreciating the benefits of the simplicity of Spark. Correct. That's part of our market. Oh, the other part, though, really does cater to the folks that perhaps have been using their device for a while, but want to get all of their essential information on one screen and make it really easy to get in and out of the types of activities that they do very often, whether that be checking a sports score or posting a status on Facebook or just checking the weather in multiple cities. So we make that very easy in one screen. So we've actually developed a scripting platform we call MobiJax, and we've developed it right onto the MobiJax platform. And we've done this because A, it works really, really robust and brings even more multitasking features to Symbian. The second reason is there are other platforms that we may support in the future, such as Brew Mobile platform. We already are supporting LG, and so we can really write it once in our MobiJax platform and having it run on those multiple systems.
Okay, and on Symbian, presumably MobiJax itself is implemented in native Symbian code, and then you write on top of that platform. Okay.
Well, we offer it, if we're speaking about Android, we offer it through Android Market, which is the typical way that you get updates for your devices. Okay. We are the folks that are going to be releasing new modules as they come on. And the first new modules after today's launch are going to be sports scores, followed by an events module, which will integrate Facebook events with calendar events, and even things like if you wanted to track the schedule of your favorite football team. Those will all be available in one module. And then later on, we're going to do LBS module that will facilitate really rapid check-in to things like Foursquare and other kinds of LBS providers. And we can really do it either way. We developed our platform so that it can be updated over the air, and so we can notify them within one of the existing modules. We can notify them, via a pop-up or something like that, or we could just have them download it from the market.
You're either very flexible or you haven't made your mind up yet.
We think that there are multiple delivery systems, and so we think flexibility actually is the key going forward. So we are primarily working on affiliate fees. So we work with a number of content providers that are interested in having their content in Spark, and so they pay us for doing that. And we also have, today we're announcing our relationship with Groupon, and so people can transact on Groupon deals through our platform, and we receive affiliate fee for that. There's a little bit of advertising that happens on the media pieces as well with Sky and so forth.
Do you think you can keep it free forever?
I think we can. Yeah, I mean, there are enough media companies out there and other players in mobile that are interested in being a part of the interface. So, but we can monetize it that way, keep it free for the users. So we're still in wait and see mode on Windows. And we've looked at iPhone. We need Apple to loosen up what they do with the interface a little bit for us to really make an impact there.
You and the rest of the world.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on them. I think it's a similar scenario as Apple, so that they've created a very closed experience. And just interesting. I think we actually are aligned in our goals of trying to get people to their content much quicker. I think we do it in a more dynamic way than they do, but a good solution. Well, we're certainly excited about the kinds of features that we're going to put into the Spark interface, because essentially it'll be the one place that you can go and get access to all the things that are essential to you and get you in and out of your phone very, very quickly without having to open up apps and having to cut and paste and move things around. One of the features of Spark is that we're really good at federating social networks. So let's say I'm in the Sky News aspect of the product and I want to tweet about a story. I can drag that along up with my comment and do that all within the Spark interface very, very seamlessly without having to open up multiple applications. So I think we're going to get really better at what we call Mobile 2.0, things that we've been doing on the web for a little while. We're making them very easy to do on mobile, and that will continue to evolve. In terms of what's being provided to us, Symbian has been somewhat open, however, and actually it's been a great opportunity for us because the interface we don't believe has been that great, particularly on Nokia phones. So we're seeing from our fan base a great appreciation for what we're doing on Symbian. On Android, we appreciate that they're very, very open. And we don't see them trying to provide we don't see Google trying to provide these kinds of interfaces because that would defeat the purpose of openness. So we are sort of marrying the simplicity of iPhone, but with the power of Android. And so we're happy about that. Yeah, so it's available today. I encourage you to go and get it and try it now. It's called Spark. You can find it at Android Market and Novi Store.
And send some feedback in, presumably.
Absolutely. Give us a high rating.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.